one artist, however, who can get away with fucking anything she says is the next one. Yeah. We meet usually very regularly, but we hadn't met for a while. And then I met her 2 weeks ago. And this is literally the first thing she said to me. I'm like, oh, honey, Veza, how are you? And she looks at me and she says to me, I am exploding with art. Come on, who says that? How are you doing? I'm exploding with art. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, if you would be any other person, I would punch you in the fucking face. But since it's you, I will laugh and I will go, and I will take out my lesbian journal for jokes and I will write this down. And this is how I'm going to introduce you. She's very ill tonight and she's still here. And give her all the love. Oh, she's already, God, that she does that all the time. And she's apparently already here. A big applause for Veza!
I forgot I said that, I'm sorry. The thing is, yes, I'm a dancer that never dances because I like talking, or I don't know. Yes, but tonight I'm going to start with a little revolution dance that starts like that. And then in my other hand, that goes like this. And you have to focus on the vibrations between my hands and your brains. Really? Can you feel it? This dance was invented by my dear friend Alina Popa. Alina Popa died 2 weeks ago on her birthday. I'm so sorry that I'm making you sad. I wanted to challenge the conventions of stand-up comedy because we should transgress the principles of our art all the time. I think as artists are not, I don't know, I'm a contemporary dance maker. My art is very bougie. And we say that about that art, about us. That shows how bougie we are. It's scary. Our art was born by revolutionary women and people trying to free the bodies and the space. But yes. And sometimes I'm not very sure if my profession is very revolutionary. My concepts are always very smart or very very leftish, very queer, anti-capitalistic. But I don't know if people see that in what I'm making. So I thought that tonight I will give you some skills to make the revolution from a contemporary post-dance perspective. Channeling my friend Alina Popa from the heaven, if there is a heaven or hell, because she was very in between. But she was a very good person. And before dying, she said to me, Veza, stop working so much. Stop performing ill. I have temperature right now. But you know, she also said something that really, it's true. You should exercise your heart in work. It's also dangerous, no? You should exercise your heart in work. That's the mentality of revolution. Actually, you should sleep when it's boring and also exercise your heart all the time. So the exercise of Alina Popa #1 goes like that. You should all try it. You take one finger and wait between the teeth. And then you start to push it out. And you think, smile. There is a connection between your heart and your lungs. Maybe you should put the entire hand to find it more. Okay. Now I go back to my fist. Fists are very revolutionary. And then you smile a little bit. And you start again with the other finger. The revolution should start also with a smile. You should close your eyes, put two heads together. And when you put two heads together, there is this practice called the peripathetic practice that is wandering around. That is like putting one head into the head of the other person. You should try it if you want. You put your head into the head of the other person, and you wander in thoughts. And it doesn't matter if the thought is very deep. All thoughts are deep, or all thoughts are nothing in the end, are just thoughts. Just thoughts. They are transparent, you know? They are not here, like they are thoughts. So you can really feel them from one skull into the other, and you're like wondering. Yes, that's how I met Alina Popa. My friend Alina Popa and I were doing this peripathetic practice, and I was a bit embarrassed because she was all the time talking about very smart things, like, oh, Veza, it's really important, you know, just to start living the abstract, because I love contemporary mathematics. I don't have a clue about contemporary mathematics. I love contemporary mathematics, and you know, there is this mathematician that went into a room and spent 1 week in the room, okay, alone, 1 week, trying to solve the problem, because he was not a mathematician that was just trying, because there are these mathematicians that solve problems, and there are these mathematicians that theorize. And Alina Popa was everything, and a dancer. But this friend of Alina Popa locked himself in the room with the most difficult algorithm and spent 1 week with it. And after the week passed, he came out and he didn't have a solution. Do you know why? Because it's in the process. The process was the solution. And the process is the revolution. Don't you see it? Okay? So you have to start seeing the problem, getting locked with the problem, and don't freak out if you don't know the solution. First, you exercise your heart at work to transgress the principles, okay? Can you follow me? You transgress the principles, okay? And then you're okay with the process, because the process is going to surprise you. And in order to fit the process, what you do is to alienate yourself. You should know something. As dancers, we are experts on alienation. Not because we become aliens all the time. Imagine alien dance would be like, I don't know. We can. I think we can. But it's not because we become alien. It's like because we are able to embody concepts and notions, and we are also able to embody knowledge to become something else. For example, I could become this. I could become a glass and think from the perspective of the glass. Or I could sing you a song that Alina liked to sing to me from the perspective of the petroleum, okay? Because if you sing the song from the perspective of the human, then we are still in the fucking problem. And we need to become in the process, okay? Do you understand? Okay. One of the things I learned from Alina Popa that you should all try is to become a dot. Punto. So what you do is you don't drink coffee in the mornings and you wander, because in the dream and the wonder lies big thoughts that are messy and abstract. an alien. So you go, you wander, you wander, you wander, and then you read some philosophical text, or some horrible news, or some poem, and then you close your eyes, and you try to become a dot, and to repeat what is left from the text from the perspective of the dot. So, you laugh, but people pay money to do these things in workshops. That's how we earn our money in the field of dance. Cool. I love it. I think you are all dancers. I'm very moved, and I was laughing so much before with myself because Alina Popa loved PCCC, but she could never come here because she was too sick. And she was lying in bed and always letting all her friends caress her all the time. And when you stop, she was like, hey, hey, more. And because she was dying, you. But the best thing is, like, she asked us, please, 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 Veza, you must believe the impossible. I'm not dying. And I was like, you are dying. But I couldn't say it. And all this, and then she came with all this, yes, but the abstract, but the alien, but everything you know, everything you're working, you have to take it now. And even if we are all anarchists and queers and punks, now we start praying because I want that. And we all started praying until we forgot she was going. And I say here goodbye to her. And there is a thing I used to practice with her. Because as some people know, I work on screaming as an act of liberation and alienation, becoming just breath and screams. I would like that we all scream together. I'm going to give you a little class. And this scream is very good because it's a lot of things. It's a screaming for Alina, it's a screaming for yourself, it's a scream for revolution, it's a scream you can practice on Thursdays for the demo, Donnerstag demo. It's a scream you can practice at work. It's a scream that you can even practice while you are warming up your heart, like exercise. So, the first thing you say, you have to touch your heart. And I'm going to show you first. You touch here. And first you go here, like that. You have to open here. Okay. Scream number 1. Then there is another scream that is here. That is the mystic scream that goes up. I'm a bit spiritual. But I'm still an anarchist, an atheist. Here, the esoteric one is like this. Okay? Cool. So we have. Okay. The last. I have to laugh myself. Okay, so we have this. And we have one that goes from heaven to the earth that is like this. You can do it sitting, it's like from up till down. So, one. Thank you very much.